Good afternoon and welcome to a very special occasion here on BC TV. Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdal along with the master of ceremonies today, Joe Ricard. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Thanks, Gwiz. Happy to have you.
Now tell us a little bit about what the name of this great facility is and where we're at.
After months of haggling with my board, we settled on the name of Janet Jopke Tennis Courts at the Richard Shaw Park. Janet Jopke, a longtime educator in the state of Michigan, and Richard Shaw, the owner and the builder of Shaw Construction Company, and both had a huge part in building this facility.
All right, we're going to go first with talk about what got you interested and involved in tennis.
Morley Frazier, I'm going to blame him because people who know me as a longtime basketball and football coach. And about 20 years ago, a week before boys tennis season started, Morley Frazier said, "Joe, I can't find a tennis coach. You're a gym teacher. You must know something about tennis." And that's about it. I knew something about it, and I've just fallen in love with it.
Well, you know, Coach, driving over here, a lot of memories came back to me, and I know it came back to you when you were doing this project. We're on the site of the old Thomas Jefferson Elementary School, so let's go back a few years. How'd you get started in this, and how long did it take you to get to where you are today?
I'll say officially we've been working on this project 5 years, unofficially probably 10 years, and it started, if anybody can believe this, with a car wash. The Helmling family, Pauline and Greg Helmling, and their sons Cody and Dylan, were all involved in tennis, and we just knew we needed courts. We knew the players at Bay City Central needed courts. So Cody Helmling, the oldest, said, "Hey, we're going to start this off with a car wash fundraiser." And here we are about $600,000 later with a wonderful, wonderful facility.
You had three people, not just one or two, that were great influences on your athletic career and endeavors. Talk about those three quickly.
It's really special to see Dave Rogers here tonight. I tell people growing up like Gwiz, you played everything. Whatever the season was, you got involved. And my first football coach was Dave Rogers at St. Boniface School. My first basketball coach was Don David at St. Boniface School. And my Pony League baseball coach was Bill Gregory, better known as Wild Bill to some of us, Gwiz.
Yeah, you're right.
And so all three of those guys are special to me, as well as every other coach that you have.
You know, Coach, it always takes somebody to lead this parade and stuff like that, and you kind of took the bull by the horns, but looking around here at the crowd tonight, and this was a total team effort by a lot of people. I mean, I saw Carolyn Weirder, the old superintendent. Pauline was telling me a story about the can drives. And so, you know, those are the kind of things that bring a community together. And this is just going to be great for the Bay City of Bay City and the Bay City area, Great Lakes Bay region.
Whereas I entirely agree. It's kind of like a hidden gem. It's so hard to, you say tennis courts and people think, yeah, tennis courts. Okay, I've been to tennis courts before, but I'm not sure they've been to a facility in Bay City, in the neighborhood, on the east side like this. And we're just so pleased with the turnout tonight.
Well, there's a ton of people that want your time. Always a pleasure to spend a few quality moments. Congratulations on this great endeavor and decades of future success with it.
Jeff, thank you. Thanks for coming out tonight.
Joe,
thank you.
Great job.
And both of you, we owe a debt to you guys because you were there right from the beginning supporting us and encouraging us. So we want to say thank you.
It was our pleasure.
Okay.
And pleasure indeed. Back in just a moment on Bay County TV. Back on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala, along with the big cheese himself, Jim Barsha, our county executive. And welcome, Jim. What a pleasure it is to have you here today as we honor this great facility and look forward to great things ahead.
Well, Jeff, Mike, and Nick, of course, behind the camera, thank you for being here for this important community event. This grand opening ceremony for the Janet H. Jopke tennis courts here on Park Avenue in Bay City. And I, too, like the chairman of the board, Mike Rancic, are delighted that Bay County could play a role in helping to facilitate the tremendous amount of effort expended by our local residents and community leaders like Joe Ricard, who envisioned this way back in about 2005, started talking seriously about this effort in 2009, and over these years have raised the money. Bay County, as you know, put in a nice donation toward it, the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, but all the individuals who have donated to this effort over these past years. And today we celebrate what will be a tremendous asset in our community as we go forward, because this will keep our citizens healthy. It's intergenerational. We have, as you see here, these smaller courts for the younger set, and then of course the adult courts. And when people are physically healthy, they're also mentally healthy and optimistic about the future. And I can't think of a nicer celebration or event to attend than this opening ceremony today here on Park Avenue in Bay City. So thank you guys for all the great work you do, Mike and Jeff, and behind the camera, our favorite guy, Nick Page. Great team we have here in Bay County, and thank you for helping share some of the positive and good news about steps that are being taken here in Bay County and Bay City to move our county forward. And we appreciate always the attention that you give great community events like this, and especially the people who have worked so hard beginning in earnest way back in 2013.
Well, Jim, it's going to benefit a lot of people, adults, high school kids, like you said, the little kids. And what a nice shot in the arm for the Great Lakes Bay region. And we're going to bring a lot of tennis teams from all over the state, maybe hold a district or a regional here. And we're going to be the talk of the town in the tennis world, I would think.
Absolutely. And also what's happening out at Civic Arena with the Bay City American Adult Hockey League, that also is going to be a great opportunity for Bay County to be, and especially Bay County government, to be hosting events that will bring people from across the state and throughout the Midwest to our community and spend dollars here and be exposed to the great community and people of Bay City and Bay County that we are blessed.
And there's
with.
not a lot of other sports that really cross all these generations where young and old can come alike with a common passion and do it all right here in this facility.
You nailed it, Jeff, and that's why everyone is so happy today. Look at that crowd over there, and I know the program will be beginning shortly, and I'll just probably make 2 minutes worth of statements, because we have a lot of leaders that have participated in making this happen, and real celebrities here today, and we'll be anxious to hear from them. So, especially you guys. All right. So,
but it is a pleasure for you to spend a minute with us as we really celebrate this great endeavor together.
Yes. Thank you, Jeff, and
thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Mike, Nick, and Joe Ricard deserves a huge pat on the back, because he has been passionate about this since the beginning, along with a lot of his organization that have worked diligently and for many years to make this happen, and finally it's happening. It's being dedicated, and just have to look around. Hopefully we'll invite members of the viewing audience to stop by and see these beautiful tennis courts if they haven't had an opportunity to yet, and also to consider maybe coming over and serving a few aces. Right?
All right, back in just a moment with the opening ceremonies here on Bay County TV.
Welcome you to the grand opening of the Janet A. Jopke Bay Community Tennis Facility at Richard Shaw Park. Can we have a round of applause? Woo! Thank you for joining us in a celebration that has been years in the making. Let's begin by, is the band here from Bay City Central, by the way? They're not? Well, we were going to do the national anthem, but you know what? We'll make adjustments. So let's move on. So how did we get here today? Let me give you a little history. In the words of the BCTA president, Joe Ricard, it all started with a car wash. As the courts around Bay City deteriorated over the years, it became increasingly difficult to find a place in our community to play tennis. It was especially hard for Bay City Central tennis teams who were definitely, if you pardon the pun, underserved. A group of people started raising money to build new courts for the community. We hosted car washes, fundraiser tournaments, and can drives. But honestly, there just aren't enough cans in all of Bay County to build something like this. So the BCTA was created. Many of you know that the land we are standing on was once the site of Thomas Jefferson Elementary School. It was vacant for many years, and when several alternative uses fell through, we got the idea that this would be a great place for tennis courts. Several neighbors agreed and joined the effort. The school district demolished the building and entered into a usage agreement with the BCTA, making development possible. With the help of the Bay City Central Booster Club, the BCTA became a 501c3, a nonprofit organization, and the dream of having tennis courts started to become a reality. I'm reminded of a quote by Margaret Mead: "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." So now it's time for you to meet some of the people whose dedication, hard work, and generosity have made today's celebration possible. Representing the family of Janet Jopke, the champion sponsor of this facility, please welcome Jerry Jopke. Diane Fong, the CEO of the Bay Area Community Foundation, is here to express the gratitude of the community to the Jopke family.
So I don't have a quote as meaningful as Margaret Mead, but I would say if you ever think you are too small to make a difference, just imagine being trapped in a tent with a mosquito. So you can do it. Gary, would you like to come forward? Janet Jopke was born and raised in Bay City, Michigan. As a matter of fact, I understand she was raised just a few blocks from here, along with you. Is that true? She graduated from Central High School in 1961 and went on to earn a Bachelor of Arts from Michigan State University, a Master of Arts from Oakland University, and a doctorate in education from Wayne State University. Dr. Jopke received many awards and accolades, including being inducted to the Bay City Central's Hall of Fame in 1991. She had an exemplary career in public education, both in the classroom and in administrative roles. Under her leadership as superintendent, the Troy School District gained a national reputation as a premier school district with all schools achieving Michigan exemplary status, all schools accredited by the North Central Association, and both Athens and Troy high schools being named one of the 98 top high schools by U.S. News and World Report. On this day, June 6, 2019, it is with a great sense of honor and privilege that I am able to present this plaque on behalf of the Bay Community Tennis Association to the family and friends of Dr. Jopke in honor of the Jerome Jopke family's generosity and to commemorate the dedication of the Janet Jopke tennis courts in her name.
Thank you very much.
Very nice.
Thank you, Diane, and thank you, Jopke family. Next, representing the Shaw family of Richard Shaw, please welcome Sarah Shaw Scott.
Hi. I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight. The members of the Bay County Tennis Association, Mr. Jopke, Joe Ricard, family, friends, and most importantly, Dr. Schloff. Thank you. Amy, Ben, Brad, Lisa, Mike, and I, along with our families up here up front, are honored to be here tonight to both recognize and support the dedication of the Jopke tennis courts and the Richard Shaw Memorial Park. Prior to his death, our dad had made it clear he wanted to be involved with this project, as he was very fond of Dr. Schloff, and even more so, he wanted to continue to give back to the community in which he lived and worked for 67 years. recognize this park and contribution as a memorial to our dad and to honor his generous spirit and commitment to the city of Bay City. We are proud that this space will provide opportunities for all of you, family, friends, and our neighbors for many years. We grew up just around the corner on McKinley. If you knew our dad and grandpa, Dick Shaw, you knew he was proud of the quality work and reputation of Shaw Contracting and their employees. Thank you, Roger Wesnick and Shaw Contracting and the team at Shaw Contracting, for all of you that are here today, for honoring our dad and seeing this work through. Our dad was also a man who lived for his kids and his grandkids. This park is an ideal way to honor his memory, providing a space where we hope Bay City parents and grandparents will gather and play for years to come, as celebrating family was so important to our dad and grandpa, Dick Shaw. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, Sarah. Don't go too far. Brian Surrat, CEO of the Bay Area Chamber of Commerce, is here to express his gratitude with a plaque for you. So if you'll come back up here, please, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. I had some remarks, but there's nothing I can say that's more heartfelt than what you said. This actually means a lot to me also. My mother taught at Jefferson School, so to see the park repurposed, and I've watched it as it's come to fruition, living around the corner, sort of the same as you. So your father's legacy is living on through this park. We appreciate everything you've done and the family has done and the contracting company. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan and Sarah. We're also fortunate to have several court sponsors supporting this project. The first organization to sign on as a court sponsor, which really helped get our fundraising rolling, was the Dow Corning Foundation, which is represented here by Chris Velasquez. Chris, are you here? Yes, would you like to say a few words?
I just barely made it. I came from the old Dow Corning headquarters and had to cross one of those bridges, but I won't talk about that today. So the Dow Corning Foundation, we had three key things that we did: STEM, sustainability, and community vibrancy. So it may stand out to you which one this really fits in the heart with, but I'm going to talk about the first one, STEM, right? Being an engineer, I love how tennis drives geometry and trajectory and all of those other things. So I see it as a STEM investment. But okay, truthfully, this is exactly what we're looking for in community vibrancy in the communities where our people live, and to be a part of this in Bay City and bringing this back was just a fun role to play. So congrats on everybody here, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris. The second court sponsor is Bay County, represented here today by Executive Jim Barsha and County Board Chairman Mike Rancic. And I believe Jim Barsha is going to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Pauline. I want to acknowledge Commissioner Kim Coonan and our Chairman of the Board, Mike Rancic. Without their support, I don't think Bay County could have made a contribution to support the tremendous effort all of you have made over the last 10 or 12 years since this was conceived. You pursued this with a passion for tennis and for making Bay City and Bay County, again, a destination statewide. So they will provide economic benefits well into the future for our community, but more importantly, intergenerational. If you haven't seen the little tennis court there to our right, for the young children to get started into the great sport of tennis. That is phenomenal, and I know the adult leagues that will be playing tennis here for decades to come will really appreciate what all of you here today envisioned, and without just a relentless pursuit to make it happen. So today is a great celebration and a way to continue the wonderful legacy of the Jopke family. And I know Janet would be extremely proud of what you're celebrating today. So thank you, Pauline, for including Bay County to make a few remarks and to just laud your efforts and say thank you. And we're glad that we could play a small role along with the Michigan Economic Development Corporation.
Thank you, Jim and Mike. The third court sponsor is the Bay City Central Booster Club, represented here today by longtime president Pam Skillman. Are you out there somewhere, Pam? stand up and wave. Thanks, Pam. There she is. There she is. If you were counting, you might notice that makes 3 court sponsors, and you can see that there are 8 courts. So the answer to your question is yes, there are more opportunities to be a court sponsor. Joe Ricard is the person you need to see if you want to do that. You probably also noticed that one of the courts has windscreens featuring the Dow Corning Foundation logo. The foundation was the only court sponsor who signed in on time to have a customized windscreen in place for today's celebration. But similar windscreens have been ordered for the others, and they will also be installed for all future court sponsors. In addition, permanent signage will be added at the corner of Borringer and Park. So right on the corner up there by the stop sign, you will see a sign that says Janet H. Jopke Courts at Richard Shaw Park. And right there behind us, if you see the cement building, that's the beginnings of a utility building that will provide restrooms, storage, and other functions for the site. It will also be the location for permanent recognition of all project owners. We could have waited for all the signage to be in place before holding the grand opening, but everyone is just too excited to get out there and play some tennis. In addition to the Jopke family, the Shaw family, and our court sponsors, this project has been made possible by contributions and in-kind donations from a number of individuals and organizations, including, but not limited to, Bay City Public Schools, the Gerstacker Foundation, the Kanzler Foundation, United States Tennis Association, the Smith Foundation, Mary Anderson, Frankenmuth Credit Union, Civil Engineering Consultants, Wurtstone Docks, Northern Concrete Pipe, Pyramid Paving, Bay Landscaping, Aetna Supply, Michigan Pipe and Valve, and our Kim Coonan, who's out there in the audience. Thanks, Kim. Please join me in giving a big thank you to these wonderful supporters. Another group that deserves a hand is the BCTA board, who have been working on this project for a long time. They are Joe Ricard. If you guys could just at least wave. Joe Ricard, Jerry Schloff, Mary Drizga, John West, Steve Zarnicki, Carrie Dardis, Rick Drizga, Jim Gillespie, Greg Helmling, Jim Vietti. Thank you. And for everyone who contributed or volunteered or retweeted or any other countless ways that you helped make this happen, please accept our heartfelt gratitude. Thanks to all of you, the BCTA recently completed an online fundraising effort through Patronicity. Sorry, too many sheets here. That topped $50,000, qualifying for a matching $50,000 grant from the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. That will help ensure that this beautiful facility will be maintained for years to come, and we will be well utilized by people engaged in a variety of activities. Congratulations, everyone. I would like to introduce Joe Ricard. He has a few presentations to make.
Thanks, Pauline. Great job. Quick special thanks from me on behalf of the board to John Billette. John, it's just amazing that I can call you anytime, night or day. You answer. John is our Mr. Everything. He's our general contractor, civil engineer, and terrific job. Brad Shaw, the amount of manpower and machinery Brad provided here in the winter, in the summer, and in the rain, and in the heat, and not one call to me. Not once did Brad call me for anything. All I got were phone calls from Jerry Schloff that I should see what Brad's doing today. You should see what Brad's doing today. And Brad, seriously, we would not be here without you and your company, and you know that. So thank you very much. I don't think Bruce is here. Is Bruce here? Bruce Weiss, Pyramid Paving. I haven't seen him, but I do know if Brad and Bruce got together that the roads in Michigan would be solved. That problem would be taken care of very quickly, thanks to him. John Schweinecke, Bay Farm Services, and the great job they did on the fence for us. Goddard Coatings, who coated those of you who came out and watched them, I mean, it's like we were 5-year-olds watching them paint some silly tennis courts. Behind us, the building, John McNally Builders and Keeley Masonry. General Housing, who's donating some trusses for the building. So special thanks to all of our contractors. Thank you. And my last special thanks goes to a guy I didn't know, and I wasn't sure I would want to know him after I first got to know him. Known him now for about 5 or 6 years, and I've learned this is a guy that loves Bay City. He wasn't born or raised here, but he loves Bay City, and he toots that Bay City horn anytime he can. He's got a huge heart. He's a giver. Any appointment, he gets his hair cut, he takes donuts. Okay, he goes to the doctors, he takes apples. He spends more money on lunches for workers than I spend on my wife in a year. I know that. He'll give me an opinion anytime he wants, whether I ask or not. And I have found out in the last year that he is one of the toughest guys there is. And I am proud to call him a friend of mine and a friend of Bay City, Dr. Jerry Schloff. Jerry, come on up here. Come on up. Jerry, on behalf of myself, the BCTA board, most importantly, every person here, these people came to see Jerry Schloff's production, and we appreciate it, and we present this to you as a token of our thanks.
I've never played tennis. What is this? What do they do here?
Keep that up.
I found an opportunity to give back to the community, who I love. I love Bay City. My kids went to school here. This was laid in our lap, and it's been a long way, and I'm so proud of it. I think for the 100-mile radius, people that come and play here, the high schools, of which it's mostly for the community, it's so classy, and it looks a whole lot better than a building that was empty there. And I see so many people that have helped us and supported us. I'm very happy to have done this. But I work very hard when I do something, and I do the best I can. And we got the best people together to help us do this. And we should all be very proud of it. I can't wait for Joe to teach my grandchildren tennis. I get special lessons. But I'm very happy that I could do it. I didn't know that I could ever do something like this, but I found out I know some people who thought it was a good idea, besides me. And when I called, they answered. And I got to stop talking. I have a lot of stories. But I would come over here every day. I enjoyed watching the big payloaders. I enjoyed watching them put mortar on that. I enjoy seeing people that are happy, and we just let them do their job. And this is what we have. One of the nicest tennis courts. And I hope many times to come down here and get rid of that little red scooter. And I've come a long way in the last 2 months, and here I am. And I've got 2 of the grandchildren here. I don't know if but this is it. Don't ask me again. This is the one. Okay.
Right behind you. Don't have to go far.
Oh, okay, thanks. Oh, all right, that looks good. Oh.
Thanks, Joe.
Oh, okay, thanks. Hey, look at that, hang on.
Thank you, Joe and Jerry. And I also would like to say, oh, go ahead. They deserve a round of applause. They worked really hard. They worked really hard. The mayor, Kathy Newsham, planned on being here, but she had a previous commitment, so she sends her apologies. Otherwise, she would have been here because she supports this project as well. So now it's time to play some tennis. Woo! So, if you look toward the center aisle between the main bank of courts, you'll see a ceremonial ribbon that the BCTA acquired at very little expense. Cutting the ribbon will be John West, a former tennis coach at Bay City Central and All Saints High School, and a tireless supporter of this sport throughout the community. So John West, if you can go up, and if I can have all my little tennis players line up. Don't go underneath, don't go underneath. Just wait. Wait for Mr. West. John, whenever you're ready, cut that ribbon. Woo!
Welcome back on BCTV. Jeff Doan and Mike Guazdala, along with Mike Rancic, chairman of the board for Bay County. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful day out here today. Beautiful facility. Bay County, the Board of Commissioners, were happy that we could invest in the future of traditional good old time tennis. This is great.
Now, talk about your first thoughts when this was originally brought to your guys' attention, that it was even a dream or a possibility.
Well, at first I thought, to be honest with you, I goes, oh boy, here we go. We're going to have a whole bunch of tennis courts converted into pickleball. And so I was really impressed today when I came. Not that I have anything against pickleball, but being an old tennis competitor 30, 40 years ago, I love to see this kind of action going on. A place for kids with great facility here, and the courts look fantastic, and guys, they did a heck of a job out here. We were happy to invest in this facility.
You know, Mike, we were walking up together and you were taking a look at this place, and you were kind of like a kid at Christmas, on Christmas morning, looking at all these beautiful courts, and you said, man, you're ready to get out and play yourself. And what a great area to have the courts, and they're absolutely just gorgeous out here.
Well, it's ironic you said that. This afternoon I dug out, I wondered where my old Bancroft gut-strung thing that I hadn't used in 35 or 40 years, and by God, I found it. And, you know, I kind of give it a few swings, and the shoulder felt good, so I just might be taking the sport back up again.
You got a place to come play now.
Yeah, there you go. I got a place to go. Yep.
I got to think one of the things that really impresses me about this facility is they have built in extra dollars for maintenance, and so many tennis courts in the Bay City and Bay County area have fallen under disarray with all the budget cuts and stuff. This should be in this shape for a long time, and Bay County has a lot to do with thankfulness for that.
Yep. I mean, just like you say, everybody, they want to build things and everything else, but there's no thought given to how are we going to maintain this. So that you guys have an endowment and everything, this is just fantastic. Again, like I say, Bay County, we were happy, very happy to invest in this. Love to see the kids, you know, the kids courts, you know, the shorter nets and stuff like that. It's just, this is great.
Well, one thing, Mike, that's going to happen is Central's going to play here, and you know we might be getting some district tennis and some regional tennis. So this is going to be spread out through the state and say, hey, you got to get to Bay City and check out these tennis courts.
Exactly. It's just something, you know, it's just another thing for Bay County, you know, with the ice arena and our community center and all that, to try and keep people recreationally wise, keep them activated and exercise. That's what the name of the game is.
Well, we appreciate a couple of minutes of your time, and
no problem.
How Bay County again steps up to the plate to support this great community.
All right. Thank you very much.